Avi Meyers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hershon and myself. We're on TV every week in something like 35 to 40 different cities, Chicago, Evanston, a bunch of north and northwest suburbs. We're also on the web. You can see us all on YouTube. Every single episode. You can even see it before you can catch it on TV. And you can go to ntnm.org to check that out. We're real big on community policing, caps24.org. Sonny Hershon, in his spare time, is the chairman of the District Advisory Committee of the 24th District. It is a pleasure to have the Republican candidate for Congress in the 9th Congressional District, Timothy C. Wolfe. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Good, thank you. So, this is the first time you're running for office?
Yes, it is. I've never been involved in politics before, but I had to get involved this year because because of redistricting, I've got a new congressman who I don't want to be my new congressman. So I had to get involved because nobody else would.
No, that sounds good. As a matter of fact, she had her first serious opponent a couple of years ago in Joel Pollack, and he took a good chunk out of her.
Well, that's what everybody tells me. So I'm just, but I'm looking to do a little bit better.
No, that sounds good. So, I know you had some people working for you over at. I originally met you with the Greater Chicago Jewish Fest.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You were there, and there were. It was interesting to me, and this happens every 2 years. How many more Republicans show up at the Greater Chicago Jewish Fest who are running for office than the Democrats?
Is that right?
So, and that is an every year thing. I mean, I'm happy to interview. I'm an equal opportunity interviewer. If you're running for public office, as long as you're a Democrat or Republican, I'm happy to put them on, unless it's a major independent. Got to be major though, not the minor stuff. And a lot more. I probably had almost twice as many Republicans I interviewed as Democrats.
Okay, well, good. I'd like to hear that.
That was interesting. So, how do you go about meeting people? How do you go about making friends? How do you go about finding supporters?
Well, we'll start off with the hardest one first, which is the supporters. You have to contact your friends and your relatives. That's who you start with. And then you just start, well, in my case, I've got business associates. I'm a CPA, and I have maybe 200 or 300 clients, and I contact them. But then at some point, the well kind of runs dry, and you have to start, talking to people you never knew, and just getting out there, telling them, why you're running, what you want to accomplish, and hopefully they'll get involved with you. I think the one thing I've found much more difficult in terms of supporters than I had anticipated is that there are four incumbents, counting Ms. Schakowsky, around me, and so those four people are kind of absorbing, everybody who's out there, and so it's really hard to get supporters. And then when you start to talk about actual contributions, because
no matter we were not allowed to directly solicit for money.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. So now.
Oh no, I wasn't going to do that.
Station rules. No, okay. I had to make sure. I didn't want to bleep you.
Okay.
You know what? Let's at this point talk about the issues.
Okay.
What are the important issues to you in this campaign?
Well, the absolute most important issue right now is the economy. When I came in here, I looked across the street and I saw a couple of businesses that looked like they were out of business.
Yeah.
And everywhere you look, there's more businesses every day that are going out. And so it's getting this economy going. But I have to be honest, that's why I got in the race, was the economy.
Yeah.
Getting the jobs going, reversing this, annual $1 trillion deficit every year. As a CPA, I know what deficits and debts, do to a company, and it generally is not good. But the issue that's really coming to the fore is probably the most important issue on an overall basis is Obamacare. That one law encapsulates practically everything that's wrong with our government today, from trampling on religious freedom, to taking away our freedom of choice, to the government's power to tax, using the power of the tax to modify people's behavior, religious freedom. We see that in the HHS mandate, talking about making contraceptives a required part of health insurance policies. And it really underscores what I feel is the dishonesty that's just really developed in politics. The clearest example is President Obama said when he first got into office, abortions will not be covered. They won't be required to be paid for by the federal government. And under the new policy, that's exactly what's going to happen. Under the recent, at the Democratic National Convention, they've even underscored that even further. So I know that that's a hot issue, and that's not an issue that I want to get into as such, but the fact that the government is just taking over our lives, I've said all along that in 2 or 4 years, with the type of, with President Obama and his supporters, like my opponent, this will be a full socialist country in 2 to 4 years, I honestly believe.
Well, it's certainly turning, one thing listen, you're the candidate, so one thing I will say is that the idea that a religious institution, whether it be a Jewish institution or a Catholic institution, whose basic tenets are that abortion is not, the Bible says no on things like abortion, are forced to pay for contraceptives, I find horrifying. That I will definitely say. So it's been very different. Also, I got to tell you, I was watching. We were filming like a couple weeks earlier from where we are now. When I was watching the Democratic Convention last night, some of the meanness was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there was some at the Republican convention, but the Democrats really poured it on even more. It really surprised me. It's a whole different way of thinking. I always thought that in terms of abortion, that the government really has no business telling a woman what to do one way or another. But also that also means if you stay completely out, because after all, we're a divided country on this subject. You want to put the issue to rest. Government doesn't get involved in abortion, but you don't fund it either. Stay out of it means stay out of it, but it doesn't work that way. Any ideas? Foreign policy. Any thoughts on foreign policy?
Well, generally speaking, the country has to remain the superpower. But I think we need to realize that we can't be every place, and we can't be the policeman, and we can't be the person who finances countries, the people who, helps others get freedom every time. We can't just turn around and be everything to everybody. I don't think we should have been in Lebanon. Not Lebanon, Libya.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing in Syria. We should be getting out of Afghanistan without telling what we're doing. But we do have to remain powerful. I think we need to be more prudent in terms of our foreign aid. Instead of just giving it to people for whatever reason, we need to really look to see who are our friends, what are they doing? And then, of course, there's the issue of Israel. That's a very important issue. And I'm pro-Israel. I've got a lot to learn, because that's not an issue I've been involved in, because I said I've never been involved in politics
when I saw you
before.
at the Jewish Fest, I figured you were Jewish friendly.
Okay. Well, I worked for a Jewish firm for many years, and I've got I met a lot of people that I really enjoyed who were Jewish, and I've really kind of felt close to the community. I just think Jewish people are great people.
Well, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. And at this point, I want to thank you very much, Timothy C. Wolfe.
Oh, well, geez.
Okay.
Thank you.
What is give us your contact information, please.
Okay, my website is timwolfforcongress.com.
Okay.
Email address is info@timwolfforcongress.com.
And Wolfe is with an E.
Wolfe is with an E, and 4 is FOR, not the number 4.
Gotcha. Very good. I want to thank you very much. I want to thank my host, Sonny Hirsch. My entire technical crew, Sonny Hirsch. I'm with it today. I want to thank all of you for joining us today. Tune in again next week. Lots of politics till election time. And hey, don't forget, Jewish Chicago is going to be coming out for the start of early voting. And more on that in future shows. Take care. Be well. Bye-bye.